Peace and blessings, y'all. In this corner box of 24. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing well. I can't complain as always. God is great and God is good. So we're going to get right into it, of course. Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. We don't know what's happening and what's going to happen. Remember 2-3 weeks ago, we heard reports that Errol Spence was going to fight on November 19th with or without Terrence Crawford. That was 2-3 weeks ago. Then last week we heard, so after we heard that, we figured, okay. We started hearing the fight negotiations was still on, everything was good, they was pushing forward. We heard reports that the lawyers was looking at the contracts and looking over the language and studying the language and finalizing everything, and everything was going to be good. Then we heard that Terrence Crawford agreed to everything. He agreed to everything that Errol Spence wanted, and that he even would take less of the purse, right? He was going to take, I think it was 60-40. He was going to take a 60-40 split, if I'm not mistaken. I know he was going to take less of the purse, and that in the rematch, even if he won, he was going to take less of the purse even in the rematch. So the bottom line was, the reports said that Terrence Crawford had agreed to everything. And then, even when I was at the fight Friday for Shakur Stevenson in Newark, New Jersey, I heard Blue Blood say that Terrence Crawford ran up on him in the 7-Eleven, and he said that he agreed to everything, and he's still waiting for them to sign. It's on them, like it's not on him, basically. He did his part. It's on Errol Spence and their team. They delaying the fight. He did everything that he could do. There's nothing else he could do, right? So now today, we're hearing reports that Errol Spence is definitely fighting November 19th, again, with or without Crawford. And now we're hearing reports that he may be fighting his WBA mandatory, Emantius Stanionis. Right? Now, for those who don't know, Emantius Stanionis was supposed to fight Yordenis Ugas. He was a mandatory to fight Errol Spence. He was a mandatory for Errol Spence, and he stepped aside. Then they wanted him to fight Ugas. Okay, he was supposed to fight Ugas, and Ugas said he wasn't going to fight him. So then Ugas was able to get the fight with Errol Spence because Stanionis stepped aside. I guess he took some step-aside money and he stepped aside, okay. But his status was still there. So now that Ugas lost, and he's the interim WBA champion, or the regular belt holder at the weight at 147, now he's in position again, or been in position to fight Errol Spence for the WBA belt, right? Now remember, Errol Spence got 3 belts, WBA, WBC, and IBF. So he has mandatories in each division that he would have to fight based on who steps up and says he got to make this fight. I don't know all the ins and outs of that, who has more leverage, WBA, WBC, and IBF. But I just know that it's being reported that Stanionis is like the front runner out of these mandatories to fight him. Now, the WBC mandatory for Errol Spence is Virgil Ortiz. And then the IBF mandatory for his belt is, of course, none other than Jerome Bruce Enos. my man, Boots Enos. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So he got 3 mandatories. And he's going to have to, if he doesn't fight Terrence Crawford, he's going to have to fight one of these mandatories, right? Now, everybody wants to see Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. I do too. I like Terrence Crawford in the fight. No hate on Errol Spence. I studied Errol Spence. I studied Terrence Crawford. I'm not saying he's just going to walk in there and annihilate Errol Spence. He's just going to walk in there and have his way, do whatever. I'm not saying that. But I am saying with the IQ that Terrence Crawford has, with the power that he has, with the footwork that he has, with the defense that he has, he could make it a very hard night for Errol Spence and beat him, okay? Derek James said that basically referred to Terrence Crawford as being athletic, but that's not going to win the fight. That's not enough. In so many words is what he was saying. Well, Terrence Crawford is way more than just athletic. Okay, he got speed, he got power, his stamina is good, his footwork is good, and he got defense. He's a counter puncher, and he can switch back and forth from orthodox to southpaw. So he's more than athletic. He has skills. He throws combinations. He goes to the body. He got so much to his game. Errol Spence has a lot to his game too, but Errol Spence has never been in there with anybody besides Sean Porter and Kell Brook a little bit, that walked him down. That walked him down with power. That really likes to fight. Terrence Crawford, they say he likes to fight. What I hear about him and his history is that he loves to fight. He's a fighter. He loves to fight. Like he likes to fight, man. He likes to go back and forth. And as we've seen in fights, as the fight goes on, he gets more energy. You know, he don't slow down. He gets more amped. So we don't know how Errol Spence is going to react to that. All right? And so, yeah, we want to see that fight. However, if that fight don't happen, no knock on Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford has plans that if he don't get the fight with Errol Spence, he's going to go to 154 and fight Jermell Charlo. That would be, if that happens, sometime in the summer, maybe of next year, because he's fighting Tim Tszyu, Costa Tszyu's son, former junior welterweight champion, 140-pounder. He's fighting his son in January, right? So if Terrence Crawford goes up, that's what he's looking to do. If he don't get this fight with Errol Spence. If he get the fight with Errol Spence, I think he still was looking to do that, but then that would, of course, hold off because it would be a rematch clause. But at the end of the day, I would like to see Jerron Boots Enos and Errol Spence. That's what I would like to see. I know Stanionis is jockeying, Virgil Ortiz is jockeying, but Jerron Boots Enos is the fight that I would like to see against Errol Spence. And I could tell you straight up, that's going to be a problem for Errol Spence Jr. Now, to those who say he's green, with 29 fights under his belt and 27 knockouts, really? He's green? Okay. You're going to see how green he is when he gets in that ring. But I already see his potential and what he could do. And I know he needed somebody like Errol Spence to bring a little bit more out. Like he said, you haven't really seen nothing from me. Let me get in there with somebody that tests me a little bit and fights and see what I really could do. So Errol Spence got to make a decision. I don't know what's true, what's not. I'm not knocking nobody, but Terrence Crawford said that he agreed to everything. And the fight hasn't been made. And we're talking about since April, man. We've been talking about this fight. So now it's going to be either Terrence Crawford, Stanionis, Ortiz, or Jerron Enos. Those are one of the fights. Okay? Now, Stanionis, no disrespect. I ain't knocking nobody. But he's like a punching bag for Errol Spence. You know you're going to beat him. Virgil Ortiz, I'm not saying he ain't got a shot. He definitely got a good shot because he's a good fighter. He got power. You know what I'm saying? He can box. Um, but we've seen him on the canvas already, right? I'm just saying, Errol Spence coming to fight. So it looks like the best competition for him would be Jerome Bruce Ennis. But we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. We're still looking forward to Terrence Crawford. Maybe it'll pull through. Maybe it'll still happen. But in the interim, you know, we just want to see a fight. All right? The fans are excited. I'm excited. I want to see a fight. Okay? And I want to see somebody contest for those belts. All right? So that's all I got for this evening or for this moment. Please subscribe to the page. Please leave your comments. Please let me know how you feel. Okay, we're going to keep bringing this good content. I got people that's, you know, leaving me messages saying that they like the content, they like what I'm talking about, you know, and I'm going to keep giving what I have. You know, I know it's a lot of channels on here that doing the same thing I'm doing, but as if you watch my channel, you'll see I just deal with the straight facts. I ain't knocking nobody, but I'm just saying I deal with the straight facts. I could really break fights down and break fighters down. I study these fighters. I study this boxing thing. It's in my blood. It's in my background. And I eat and sleep this boxing thing. I'm really serious with it. Okay? So support me, please. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the page. Leave your comments. And everybody, please enjoy the rest of your evening. Please be safe. We out. In this corner, Boxing 24.